Hey guys, today we're going to cover the Billionaire's Yacht Buying Checklist. Now the reason I put this together, a couple of years ago we wrote the complete yacht buying guide. Now that'll get you through boats about $2 million in value, but this is really the checklist. If you're intending to buy a 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, or even larger $1 million vessel, this is a checklist that we're going to need to go through. So step number one, this is mission and vision for the boat. Now we're going to need to have a detailed discussion on what your mission and vision is for the boat. We're going to go through things such as where you want to cruise, how many people you're going to have with you, if you're going to be entertaining or if this is going to be more of a family vessel, if you want to explorer yacht or a traditional yacht. So there's a lot of things that'll come to light when we have a detailed discussion on what your mission and vision is. Now, the second thing that we require is a face-to-face meeting. Now, we're happy to come fly to you to have that meeting, so we can have a sit down, or we can accomplish this with Zoom. But we really do need to connect with you and go a few levels deeper on your mission and exactly what you're looking to do. And getting to know you is very important because that comes into play down the road when we are making the offer. Step number 3 in the checklist is KYC. There's something called KYC. This is Know Your Client. So when doing a larger transaction like this, we do need to have all the KYC forms filled out. There's something we have which is a CIS, Client Information Sheet, which they use in the banking industry. We've adopted the banking CIS to make a yachting CIS, but this will have the basic background information that we'll need on you. Now, when making these large transactions, we will need to have a statement from you on your source of wealth, where the money actually came from. Now, if you're worried about privacy, we traditionally work with retainers and NDAs, so we can certainly incorporate any of that as needed into the KYC process. Step number 4 is to talk about funding. Now, any funds to purchase a yacht, especially in today's day and age of sanctions and restrictions, we need to prove that the funds are in place and that they are clean and you have the ability to purchase a vessel. It's very important to get this all done up front. Now, in the transactions, there will be an escrow down payment when you make the offers. That's traditionally a 10% escrow down payment. Now, your offers will be much stronger if we have the escrow in place when we're making the offers. Step number 5, this is the contracting phase. So the typical contracts that we use are either the IBA, International Yacht Broker Association, or the MEBA, Mediterranean Yacht Broker Association. So depending on the background on the vessel, where it's located, how it's currently owned, we'll typically use the IBA or the MEBA. So a few other items that we may use are a letter of intent, and we often use this when we're in the negotiation phase of a vessel. So where we're really trying to iron out where the vessel is going to be, what the agreed price is going to be on both parties, and others that involve more logistics. This can come into play with new builds. Okay, number 6 on the checklist, this is actually the offer process. So again, it's very important that we take care of steps 1 through 5 when we present the offer. So we'll go through this with you, go through exactly what we need with the contract, signatures, everything that's needed for funding, KYC, and the personal background. The last thing that you want is where you're ready to present an offer and you don't have everything else in place. Because definitely on these larger transactions, the brokers on the other side are going to require knowledge of who's buying the boat, how it's being funded, everything else. So we're much stronger if we have all that in place, and also the offer's much stronger with your buying power if you do have your escrow in place. Step number 7 here on the checklist, this is going to be the marine attorney. So any of these larger transactions, we will introduce you to a marine attorney, and they can work hand in hand with your family counsel or other attorneys that you may have. But it's extremely important in either a new build or a brokerage to get a knowledgeable marine attorney that knows how to flag the vessels, knows the background on the full process, and then they can also protect us against some pitfalls. Now, some of those pitfalls that the marine attorney are going to protect us against are going to be such as in a new construction project. So oftentimes you'll have boats that are built on spec or speculation by a shipyard. We'll put together a letter of intent, go through and actually look at a punch list of things and then build those into the contract with the marine attorney. So again, extremely important to have a marine attorney in place, and oftentimes that marine attorney will hold the escrow when we're making the offers. Number 8 on the checklist is surveyors and the survey process. Now, oftentimes for these larger mega yachts, you're going to have a full team of surveyors. At minimum, you'll have a hull surveyor and an engine surveyor or mechanic. Survey process is very important, whether it's a new build or an existing boat. As I mentioned before, if a vessel is being built on spec, the surveyors will actually go there, take a look at the boat, make a punch list, and then we'll build anything needed into the contract before the vessel is actually completed. Item number 9 on our checklist, this is the yacht management. Now, we deal with professional yacht management companies that will help in the survey process. Often some of them will employ their own survey teams. They'll go in and do things such as laser scan, take care of all that process in a new build or new construction type of situation. The other major area where yacht management comes in place is actually finding the correct crew, the hiring and firing of the crew, handling the payroll and everything else that is needed to legally operate your boat. Things like designated person ashore, making sure the vessel's flagged properly, making sure all the certificates are up to date. So again, yacht management, extremely important. Now, if you do want to charter the vessel out, yacht management will also handle setting up the vessel for charter to make sure everything is on board and certified as needed. They'll also take care of the advertising and some of the financials around that. Speaking of financials, yacht management will also take care of the full bookkeeping and accounting on the vessel, make sure that you're fully compliant with payroll and everything else. The last thing on our Billionaire's yacht buying checklist is the insurance. Now, when you're buying a large vessel like this, extremely important that you get everything taken care of with the insurance. On these larger vessels, they are built to class and they will need to have their 5-year or 10-year surveys done if they're in the brokerage market, or if they're new, they will often have certain safety regulations that the insurance is going to want to see up front. Now, things like the cruising area, the experience of the crew itself, and everything else is extremely important. If this is your first time buying a yacht, the sooner we get the insurance and the funding milestones taken care of, the better off we'll be. Now, the majority of the Mega-Yacht transactions are actually cash transactions. However, if you are going to finance a vessel like this, extremely important to get everything taken care of with the funding. And any funding over $5 million will be considered a jumbo loan. They're going to want to have the insurance, all of the survey information, everything completely wrapped up. So don't take any of these steps for granted. Thanks so much on behalf of me, Tony, and the rest of my team for watching the Billionaire's Yacht Buying Checklist. Now, down below, you're going to find a link that'll take you to the complete yacht buying guide, as well as a more formal version of this checklist, as well as if you're interested in an in-person consultation on how to buy a mega yacht, please feel free to reach out through the channel below. Now, we'd love some comments and feedback. If there's anything you think we missed with the Billionaire's Yacht Buying Checklist, please let us know. For additional information, please feel free to email me at ts@mintedyachts.com. Also, feel free to text me at 404-805-9819.